Deferred MBA programs like Harvard Business School's 2+2 program or Yale Silver Scholars program require applicants to submit 1 or 2 recommendations as part of their application. Recommenders are typically asked to rate applicants along many MBA-related characteristics and to respond to questions such as, what are the applicant's key strengths? How do their potential and performance compare to peers? Or, what do you think the applicant will contribute to our program? They often also ask, what is a piece of constructive feedback you've given the applicant? I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that the questions are challenging and you need to find recommenders who are very committed to you. You want to pick someone who will strongly recommend you and will put the time into writing effective responses that hit on your key strengths, demonstrating them with concrete accomplishments. You also want to pick someone who you know will get it done in time for the deadline to avoid any unnecessary stress for you. MBA programs typically ask that at least one recommendation be from a direct supervisor from full-time work. But if you're applying to a deferred MBA program and are still in college or just graduated, you might not be sure who you should select to write those recommendations. Don't worry, the programs know their deferred MBA applicants are not yet working full-time jobs or maybe have just started their careers. That's okay. So what do? First, check the specific requirements of each of your target programs. Harvard Business School requires 2 recommenders and states that supervisors can come from an internship or part-time work experience or professors, advisors, or mentors. They can all serve as equally good recommenders. They discourage recommendations from peers, of course. The Wharton-Mullis Advanced Access Program also requires 2 letters of recommendation, which can come from college faculty, a supervisor from an internship, or employment, campus or community leaders, advisors, or coach. They're trying to broaden the scope for you. Stanford also recommends using a direct supervisor for a summer, part-time, or internship position, or someone who managed the applicant in extracurricular, research, volunteer, or community activity for their 2 recommendations. Given Columbia requires only 1 recommendation, they focus more on using a professor, mentor, internship supervisor, or employer. Once you're clear on the wide range of options that you can use, brainstorm who you think might be a good option for you, given your experience. If you had several internships, you most likely want to use a supervisor or someone you work closely with in your most recent or last 2 of your most recent internships. If you've been heavily involved in a student club and have strong leadership examples, that might be a good option for you as well to use along with an internship if you have 2 options. If you want to use a professor, think about classes you did well in and subject matter that'll be most relevant to the admissions committee. But also think about if the professor knows you well enough to write something that is thoughtful. If there were experiential components or even research involved, that adds the substance of what the professor could write about. If you have several strong options to choose from, that's great. Just keep in mind the admissions committee is trying to assess what you bring to their target program and how you will fit within the program through these recommendations. So select the individuals who can hit on your key strengths and provide specific details of your abilities that would add value to your target program, using accomplishments and examples of what you've done for them. Deferred MBA programs like to see maturity and leadership in accomplishments. This will go along with your full application, so you want your recommender to keep telling them more about you and what you've done. Once you pick your recommenders, give them time to write a strong recommendation. About half of the top deferred MBA programs have several deadlines, usually in the fall, winter, and spring. Other programs only have 1 April deadline for deferred MBA programs. For graduating seniors, this April time is often an exciting but busy time wrapping up classes, job searching, and enjoying the last months of college. Adding applying MBA programs to that requires good project management and time management. With that, you don't want to wait too long to ask your recommenders to write recommendations. Writing quality recommendations can take longer than you think. It's a good idea to ask your recommenders at least 2 months before the deadline, if not earlier. Make time to sit down with your recommender to think about the key strengths they might highlight and to remind them of specific projects you worked on with them and how well you did with them. You should never write your own recommendation, but it's a good idea to discuss your experiences with your recommender so that your best experiences are top of their mind. You've asked and spoken with your recommender. Is your job done yet? Well, not yet. Most recommendations are submitted via online portals, so make sure your recommenders have the links and account access. You also need to remember that your recommenders are busy with their own work, so we suggest you set up time to politely follow up to ensure recommendations are completed on time. And once your application is in, don't forget to thank your recommenders for working so hard to help you get into your dream MBA program. For more advice on letters of recommendation, be sure to download our free guide, linked in the description below, and check out our next video on tips for coaching your recommenders. Best of luck with your application process.